Speak possible. All right, so good evening and a very nice welcome to you all. My name is Kwesi Pratt and I speak for the Ministry of Education. So once again, of course, and again, we have to apologize for the late notice. But that said, we appreciate your coming, especially with regards to the short notice that we gave. The Minister for Education is here to set the record straight on certain issues making the rounds. And so I just invite him to take it from there. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you, President. He always says he speaks for the ministry, not for the minister. So I guess I have to speak for myself. And that's why I'm seated here today to speak for myself. He speaks for the ministry. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen of the press, for coming to the Ministry of Education on such a short notice. You are warmly welcome here. Today I'm here to clarify a few things for the good people of Ghana. The President of the Republic, who has the mandate to rule this nation, has given me a great opportunity of a lifetime, to be the Minister for Education. Minister for Education with a mandate to transform education so that education will serve its intended purpose of being the most important socio-economic enabler of our nation. So I take my work seriously. That is why 6:30 in the morning and by 7 you catch me here. Because I believe that every day presents great opportunity for the transformation of our nation. So when I see people writing and saying things and discussing issues that takes away from the job that we do here, I have to find time to clarify. And that's why I'm here today. The Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes project, which is called GALO, uses results-based financing instrument. What does that mean? What it means is this. When the World Bank gives you funding these days, and the ones that they're giving to us through GALO, with the support of the president, they don't hand you an amount of money and say, take this money and go and do this project. That is not what is done. Rather, what they do is, they tell you, you want 20 million to do X, Y, Z. We want to see that you have skin in the game, which means you are fully committed to this project. So do ABC, and once you do ABC, we'll give you the 20 million to do the SYZ. That is what is called Result Linked Indicator Project. What, in practical terms, they will ask us that the government should make sure capitation is paid. And once we demonstrate that capitation is paid, then they release a certain amount of money that you can use for teacher training, that you can use for purchase of furniture, for TLNs, for the students in the project. So that is the kind of project that we are working on. So you don't go to the World Bank and say, give me 1.2 million, and when you give me that money, I will then use it for training of teachers. No, that is not how it is done. The World Bank rather asks us that in the midst of the COVID-19, can you support teachers to know how to use technology in teaching and learning? And once you're able to do that, we're going to release $1.2 million for you to do all the things that will improve learning in Gallup schools. So we embark on this adventure to do just that. And the mandate was that we needed to train 40,000 teachers in digital literacy. So the Ministry of Education, that is the implementation agency for that component of the funding, embarked on the project of training 40,000 teachers. Platform was created. On that platform, teachers went there and they did the training. At the time that the project was about to come to an end, we have trained over 41,000 teachers. The World Bank then asked the development partners in Ghana to form a consortium and verify if the ministry has truly done the work so that they can release the 1.2 million. The development partners then came, looked at the platform, verified the list of people on the platform, and came to the conclusion that the work has been done. They sent me a letter congratulating me for having met the benchmark that they set for us, and therefore wrote to the World Bank to release the 1.2 million so that we can use the 1.2 million to embark on the project that will improve teaching and learning in the Gallup schools. As I speak with you, the amount is sitting in our account, ready to be used for its intended purpose, buying furniture, buying teaching and learning materials, ensuring that in Gallup schools, everything that they need can be done using the 1.2 million. So if anybody is saying anything, all that I want to tell you is that the money was not intended for training. The training was supported by us. And once we can show that we have a skin in the game, that we are committed to the transformation of education in Gallup schools, then they will release the money, and that is what they have done. The good news is that the money is sitting in our account as I speak with you today. So, ladies and gentlemen of prayer, nothing can be further from the truth that Dr. Yao said to wars or pretend over a project that is not going to benefit Ghanaians. It will never be true. I will never do that. I didn't come to this country to do that. I came to help project the president and ensure that his vision for transformation of education is accomplished. So today, as I sit in front of you, I sit with a sober reflection, understanding that you work so hard, and the others who don't care about that. What they care about is to do anything to dent your image. But I want to assure Ghanaians that Dr. Bichum is in their corner. The president is in their corner. We are here to work hard to change education as we know it. And so I'm excited that you are here, and I wanted to take the time to meet up with you and to let you know, and through you, let the Ghanaian people know that there's nothing wrong here. The World Bank has approved our funding after we answered a series of questions, which is what you need to do. Because you tell them after, okay, did you do this? How did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that? Once they are satisfied, they release the money. If they had any questions about how we did the work, they wouldn't have released the money. It's a results link indicator project. If you don't do the work, your money will not be released to you. So people should be assured that because we did everything right, that is why the money has been released, and now the money is going to be used for its intended purpose of improving teaching and learning in our various Gallup schools. Thank you for your attention.
All right, thank you, Honorable Minister. Quickly, we take some few questions.
Yes, City. So, Honorable, the reports from other media quarters indicates that the whole director of the Ghana Education Service, that should pretend over teachers, was not aware of this project, and therefore he denied knowledge of any such facility. What will be your response to that? And then you tell us when the money hit your account.
I'll take the last one first. I can't tell you when the money, but I'll tell you the money is in the account. But the most important, you see, I like how you said the whole GS. GS is a huge organization, and it's conceivable that he probably will not be aware. But it doesn't mean GS as an agency is not aware. As I said as a minister, it can happen sometime. Somehow I go to London, and in the presentation, somebody will come, oh, I'm doing this project in Ghana, it's fantastic. And then say, Minister for Education, and I don't know, but you don't display your ignorance. You just sit there and say, oh, thank you for serving Ghana. I'm so glad you came to Ghana. You're doing fantastic. Then you come back to inquire and ask your staff, is something going on? What is this project that this lady talked to me about in London? So it happens to me, and it can happen to Prof. Bukrama. I don't think he meant any harm. All that he's saying is that I'm not aware. But Ghana Education Service teachers who were calling to a certain TV show yesterday will tell you that they are aware. 148,000 teachers have been trained on that platform. NTC platform has also trained 43,000 teachers. Ask my colleague teachers across the country, they will tell you they are on a platform, they are learning digital literacy. So I think that is what is important, that this is not a training that you can hide. If my colleague teachers don't know, then I have a problem. My colleague teachers, my friends across the country are calling me to tell me, Minister, we are behind you. We are doing the training. And that gladdens my heart very much, to know that teachers that I love so much are getting digital literacy training.
Honorable, a quick follow-up. This is a huge allegation against you, and you're not telling us when the money hits the account of the
I can get that for you. All that I will tell you. I can get someone to go and just tell you. Angela will give you the data. It's not a big deal in terms of the time. By the time we finish, he will come to you if you're interested in the date. He will bring it to you.
What is the money going to be used for? Just expatiate on that for us.
We've done a budget that shows that, you see, the funding streams that are coming, some will come from this source, others will come from other resource-linked indicators. We are buying furniture for Gallup schools that don't have furniture. Because the point of the matter is this: you want to ensure that teachers are trained, and you go through all that. You want to ensure that you have textbooks in the classroom, which now probably have signed a contract and it's going to hit our classroom. But students cannot be sitting on the floor. So furniture is one element that we're going to be using the money for, to make sure that teachers in students in Gallup schools and teachers in Gallup schools have a place to sit.
Okay, please, I want to know the platform that was created for the teachers. In which year exactly was the platform created? You can just see that
In which year? It should be last year. And I'll give you the site. It's called https://accountant.cattechnologiesgh.com. And then we have elearning.ntc.gov.gh. These are platforms where teachers are doing digital literacy training.
Honorable.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a quick one. Can you confirm to us whether indeed the Director General of the Ghana Education Service ever wrote in correspondence to the World Bank, so-called investigators who came around to?
There were no World Bank investigators at the Ministry of Education. None whatsoever. How do you contact us? There are no investigators here. The World Bank wanted to understand, and even they're not directly the World Bank, the development partners wanted to understand how the project was executed. The World Bank comes in to say, show us how you did this, and then we respond. All the questions that they brought to us was responded. It wasn't an investigation. It generally is the procedure. Whenever you do the project, what they do is that they ask you, how did you do this? How did you do that? And you respond. When you respond to their satisfaction, they pay you. If you have a concern and serious concern, they won't pay the money to you. So the Ministry of Education is not under investment. Otherwise, we won't be paid. It's a resource-linked indicator project. If you have any problem, the money will not be released. So you see, they expect you to do the project, then they pay you. But once you finish the project, they come to verify if you did it. When they are satisfied that you've done the project, then my brother, they pay. So if you're under investigation, they won't pay you. If the Ministry of is under investigation, then they will not pay you the money. Why would they pay you money when you haven't done the work? If they have any concern, that is why this funding regime, and I want Ghanaians to know that this funding system is to ensure that there's accountability. You agree with them, they say, okay, look for money, get the work done. Once you verify that you've done it, then we send independent verifier to come to you and check everything. And sometimes they'll go back and forth, they'll send you a question, you respond and say, no, how did you do this? It may take about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 month for them to become satisfied. And then they even went behind the system to check how the training was done and how the various people, literally looking for fingerprints, so to speak, of the participant. And once they were satisfied, they paid. So anybody who is creating the impression that the minister is under investigation, why would the World Bank give me the money? if I haven't done the work, why would they pay? And nobody has written anything. The Ministry of Education, Nana Danko for this Ministry of Education is not under any investigation.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
why do you think World Bank wrote to GES to inquire?
there's no communication. Haven't you seen a letter to that effect?
Okay, so I have a copy of the letter.
To the from
No, the one that GES.
yeah, he wrote it, but I haven't seen any letter. The World Bank.
The World Bank.
Yes, because you see, one thing you should know is that the World Bank does not verify the work you've done through the agency that is benefiting. I'm the agency benefiting. Then the World Bank write to me and say, tell me if you benefited. That is why they use independent verifiers. And in this context, they use the development partners in Ghana chaired by UNESCO. And I'll make that statement available on our website. UNICEF. So UNICEF chairs development partners in Ghana, and they are the ones who verify. So the World Bank will not come to the ministry and say, ministry, verify yourself that you did the work. No, they don't do that. They use independent verifiers. And within this contest, they use UNESCO. And UNESCO wrote to congratulate me. Like UNICEF, I don't know why I keep saying that. UNICEF congratulated me and said, thank you, you've done a fantastic job. Do this. And then they wrote to the World Bank and say, pay the Ministry of Education. We are happy with the work they've done. We are not under any investigation whatsoever. At the last one.
So follow up to mine. So your colleague in Parliament, Clement Kapak, is making allegations that the World Bank may blacklist Ghana.
Are you surprised?
Well, maybe.
No, I'm saying, are you surprised that Park will make that statement? Are you a Ghanaian journalist? Are you surprised? I'm not surprised.
Yes, we take the last one.
All right. So, Honorable, we'd like to know the role the NTC played in this project.
Yeah.
Again, if you look at component 5, subcomponent 5.1 of the Gala project, it talks about the integrated digital literacy course that will be delivered through an online portal and will be covered or will cover distance learning courses as described in subcomponent 5.1. Have you done that?
Oh yes.
Have you done that?
Go to the NTC website.
When was that done?
The website is there. That's where people are doing training. But that has nothing to do with component 7. Gallup has different components. The 1.2 million has nothing to do with component 5. That's a long term. NTC have their portal where they are training people. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Finally. We've had this school feeding program. School feeding. Just a comment.
Wait. The Ministry of Education is not in charge of school. It's gender ministry. Okay. I mean, I'm with that one. Say you suffer more mobile. Some will have said no need to keep down. I mean, you can say, also on your Casama Minister of Education, Jeda, or just because of mouth. And he has some Bavian council. And Jeda, the Miami Council much more. Say, Nana don't go for Daruma, and I'm to baby. And I'm with the Minister for Education. And Jumana, yes, and Ghana, a bit from Ghana and Locoso. And Nunti and your quantity moving. The Minister of Education review course of high end. Yes, that will be antenna. Emergency. Near wedding kita. Young woman said, "Oh, many and women, she and who do my here and papa, ye be a woman proof to have a museum." And the young Minister of Education, I'm another dango to Father Hessel. Yea, near the beer, 20 years, has said that. A Juma World Bank for the sales. I'm what can say. One more Monday, no one church a teacher for. I'll probably 19. Now, a final first one, almost between the computer, as she had no waiting the actual day. And no more Juma, Enna, our Ministry of Education had Nyame Adaruma, Edma Pai, a swab for so Amagana for. Busumi a tossel 9, a dead person doing chrome. Enna, World Bank forecast said, a Juma wine, I saw ye knee into only Sika Kudio. We chase Sika of a pen back home any people new $1.2 million on the quarter year bank account. Some fat now for Nedma. Some Kunya and Musia, Mufan Kunya, some Krata and Munia Mufan Krata, Nam Palay, Enya, and Musia Humfaso. And what man here, a bonny beer, Mefia, Obia, small beer, my household may be First sound the my on the my self to whom say age man. Or would you 2 months and 2 years come? So, person view a home one, physical moment. And to be a castle, Moody's Kevin as someone on any paper on the Jumana, and she a for our bank, dear bar, on the marble sense, any paper on Tiasi. Once our call bank for the Bosnia, what has them you could see that? No, this can now we see that. What bank for the onions out? O castle who could see that? I said, who could see that? Now, crown of foundation, my fapping winning no trouble. And you could try on your share. Would you have none your shot? While the secretary who to any umbrella? No, you have none of your say pet, and you almost cannot have to cement and your master to be a sedan. Sunday say, oh, no. And till one post sick up or was here. Edit you manase. and son I also Edwin Sikama, Nadia Eduma. It is don't catch it and say, one church with 1 pesica. Now, one far pound fast on meeting the church or one who apply a fossil at the computer trade. And it's okay, Sadia and Shebe. Yamiada Roma, it's me now, baby, wait me up on what question I did. Teacher for the baby, cheap, alcohol, a drew, a brow over for this year, you know. Then you can come every 9 bar, and I pay at the tree. And I was asked, and one was so cross in the air, pen, maybe a 9 pay. A one was idea, one from bank account, and I require on this pay everything. Almost the can one find you, and from what you're more from. Move on, Minister of Education, as and when you be my money and one bomb. Minister of Education, as we go, high year, Jumadi as a Sagana. And the minimum, I will buy anyone with me, Dr. Ya or Seditum, Ewa Hase, or Main, and Mission, ever found to my prefer. Madam.
The question is,